Dungeon bosses have long been a core pillar of the Zelda franchise. These fun, flashy set pieces implore players to utilize items and strategies accrued in the preceding dungeon. The bosses on this list are memorable, challenging, epic, and fun. And as an added stipulation, no duplicates are allowed. These are IGN's top 10 Zelda bosses of all time. Wind Waker's Goma is the perfect embodiment of a creepy cartoon monster ripped straight from the mind of a child. The lava-resistant creature is equal parts menacing as it is dazzling, and yet it contrasts wonderfully against the plumes, ash, and smoke that showers its volcanic arena. It's also one of the only boss fights where Link's actions impact someone else directly. In this case, grappling onto Valu's tail will trigger a comical scene before you crush the armored insect's tough carapace. Virus might be an early boss fight in Twilight Princess, but this fiery, corrupted beast brings plenty of eye-popping spectacle and smart boss design to this list. This boss doesn't just break free of its chains. Mechanically speaking, it breaks out of Zelda's one item per boss pattern that's so prevalent in this series. Figuring out how to trip up this beast is a fun puzzle to solve, and one that sticks with you days, months, or even years after you've snuffed out its flame. While a majority of the bosses in A Link Between Worlds remix boss ideas from A Link to the Past, the shadowy Stalwart trades in nostalgia to fight on new terms. Its token weakness might be a bit obvious at first, but that's when Stalwart switches things up and pulls the rug out from underneath our small hero. Stalwart's self-awareness to discard its weak point and go on an all-out assault is notable, and something we hope to see more of in future Zelda games. Stalwart is the definition of a roller coaster, as it involves one of the most outrageous items in Link's inventory. The spinner makes this fight entertaining and non-traditional because our hero's feet rarely touch the ground. First, we see Link being bounced off skeletons like he's trapped in some demented pinball machine, but then Stalwart raises the stakes and forces our hero to grind the rails long enough until it can slam into its brittle skull. Mechanically speaking, the fight with Volvagia is basically whack-a-mole. But unlike some of the earlier bosses in Ocarina of Time, like Goma and Dodongo, this lava dragon's fiery entrance was something we hadn't seen before, and the hectic fight that follows was of an unprecedented scale, one that intimidated us at first, but also got us pumped up for an epic battle in the first 3D Zelda. Majora's Mask bosses are often overlooked, but Goat stands out as one of the most unique foes in Zelda. This fast and furious boss is equal parts race as it is a fight. Even if it doesn't take much to figure Goat out, executing high-octane jumps using the Goron Mask is an exciting way to take down this speed demon. It's a great example of balancing a less challenging puzzle with a fast-paced, unique idea to keep the fight interesting. And it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning against Goat is winning. Just ask any Hylian. Say what you will about Skyward Sword, but Nintendo's first entry in the Zelda timeline introduced one of the most stunning bosses in series history. This six-armed golden idol marries intimidating size with satisfying mechanics. The brilliant sound cues and motion-driven whip action are just the appetizer. The fight truly escalates when you have to pick up one of Galactos' 6 cutlass blades in order to chop down this ancient automaton for good. The Helmasaur King is one of the most memorable and beautiful boss fights in A Link to the Past. This reptile-like boss is as visually striking as he is mechanically interesting. Timing and placing bombs to break his exoskeleton, combined with dodging his projectiles and tail, make for a thrilling fight, and one that stands out as both memorable and rewarding from all 2D Zeldas. Dark Link has appeared many times in Zelda history, but the first time we saw Link's shadow come to life in Zelda 2 blew us away. The unforgiving, tense battle that followed gave this series something more terrifying than any other dungeon boss to conquer. It provided Link with an able-bodied foil that could dish out almost anything the hero of time could throw at it. Silent and deadly, this boss changed the face of Zelda forever. Ganon has no equal in the Zelda series, and it shows. This dastardly villain of Hyrule has taken many forms, and in a majority of games he's appeared in, he's easily the best boss. Rather than fill up this list with Ganons, Ganondorfs, or puppets and shadows, we decided to pick just one, and the Wind Waker's Ganondorf stands above the rest. Ganondorf's dark intentions drive the final moments of Wind Waker, and he's possibly the most philosophical incarnation of the recurring evil figure. Cheated by fate, he battles Link in an epic showdown atop Ganon's tower wielding twin swords. It all comes down to careful swordplay, but Zelda's role in this fight is what sealed the deal for us, as Link and the princess work together to seal away this Demon King for good. That's our list, but what did you think? Let us know your top 10 favorite Zelda bosses in the comments. And for all things Zelda, keep it right here on IGN.